Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. My name is Julian, and this is my final Drops episode of the season, the Drops episode for Week 25, the second half of it. Before we get started, guys, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Would greatly appreciate it. Let's jump right into the content now, guys, because this is an important week for you, and you want to make sure that you're dropping the right players to ensure that you take home that fantasy trophy. Let's start with some forwards that you can consider dropping. And first on the list, I have Kevin Fiala of the Los Angeles Kings. 92% rostered. And is he a must drop? No. But I'm starting to get really worried about Kevin Fiala. He finally came back for a game, and then the very next game, he didn't play again. Now, holding a guy who's not playing on your roster is super detrimental to your chances of winning. Now, dropping Fiala and then him coming back next game would be even more detrimental to your chances of winning. So it's really about how much of a risk taker you are. Now, in this case, it's just about whether you're lucky or not. If you hold him, you got to cross your fingers that he comes back next game. If you drop him, you got to cross your fingers that he doesn't come back next game because that could hurt you. Now, obviously, the least risky thing to do is to drop him because at least you'll get someone to replace him, hopefully someone half decent. Whereas if you hold him and he doesn't play, it's even worse. That's why I do have him on this list. However, I do have Kevin Fiala in one of my leagues, and I might just consider holding him because I do have the lead in my league already. So it's not going to be too detrimental to me if I do hold him. Then I have Jonathan Marchessault of the Vegas Golden Knights. And Jonathan Marchessault obviously is a great player, but as of late, he has not been producing at all. And in your fantasy finals, you want players who are producing. On top of that, Marchessault only has 2 games this last week and on 2 busy nights. So are you going to end up playing this guy anyway, or are you going to end up benching him on one or both of those nights? If you are going to end up benching him on one or both of those nights, it's probably not worth holding him, and you could consider dropping him for sure. Brandon Hagel is another guy who is on an insanely cold streak. He seems to do this a lot. Go on like 8, 9, 10 game cold streaks and then come back and go off. I'm not convinced right now that he is going to go off. You just can't wait for him at this point. Tampa Bay only does have a couple games left this season, and you definitely could not wait for him to go off. And probably you're going to be benching him anyway because they play on 2 pretty busy nights. Drop Brandon Hagel, grab someone who plays on an off night. It's going to be more worth it for you. Barrett Hayton of the Arizona Coyotes is someone who was so good, but over the past few games hasn't done a whole lot. So it's time to drop Barrett Hayton. And again, the Coyotes only do play 2 games this week, and both on busy nights. Anyway, Max Domi, while he doesn't play only on busy nights this week, Max Domi has not been great since going to Dallas. It's not really his fault. They're playing on the 3rd line as well as the 2nd power play only. So the opportunity is not the best for Max Domi, and that's why it's time to drop him. Shea Theodore is another guy that he's day-to-day with an injury. Vegas is notoriously bad at revealing injury information. So for all we know, Theodore could be missing the rest of the season. We do not want that. If you want to be safe about this, you can consider dropping him. And Vegas only does play 2 games anyway, so it's not like you're going to miss out on too much here. You can consider dropping Theodore for someone who plays maybe a bit more. Even an Owen Power at this point, guys, I'd consider over Theodore because at least you'd get 4 games out of him if you can fit him all the 4 nights. So that's definitely something that I would consider. Adam Larson, the Seattle Kraken, the peripherals have gone down significantly, not really scoring that many points. And you can definitely keep him for that back-to-back set Monday and Tuesday. I definitely don't mind that at all. But after that, drop him. Sean Durzi, the Los Angeles Kings. Usually he's decent, but I mean, he hasn't done a whole lot. He scored a couple points since he came back from injury. The peripherals aren't all that great. And LA only does play 2 games this week anyway, so there's probably someone better that you can grab other than Sean Durzi. Then Juuso Valimaki of the Arizona Coyotes, 19% rostered, and I did like him for quite a few weeks there, but the Coyotes have cooled down, unfortunately. Valimaki has as well. Only do play 2 games this week, so definitely no harm in dropping Valimaki since he hasn't been doing a lot. Jumping into goalies now, and first I have Jonathan Quick, 63% rostered. Unfortunately, he's a drop now as well. Now, even though Vegas has so many goaltender injuries, they've elected to make Brossoit the starter over Jonathan Quick. For whatever reason. Jonathan Quick wasn't doing too bad. Yeah, he had a couple bad games, but I think he's a much better goalie than Brossoit. but you can't wait for him to become the starter again, guys. There's not enough time for that. Broswa is starting the games. Honestly, Thompson or Hill could come back as well, so it's not really worth holding quick and potentially not getting the goalie starts that you need this week. Drop quick, grab somebody else. Matt Murray of the Toronto Maple Leafs is day-to-day with an injury. They're probably going to hold him out to the playoffs, guys. There was no reason at all to bring him back now. Let's keep him, healthy for the playoffs. That's what the Leafs and the Leafs fans are probably thinking. And that's why Matt Murray is definitely a drop right now. Phoenix Copley of the Los Angeles Kings, as well as Jonas Korpisalo, in my opinion, could both be drops this week. They will each see one start this week only. LA plays 2 games. Copley will get one. Korpisalo will get the other. If you're really desperate and you need a goalie start really badly, sure, you can hold them and wait for that start. But honestly, guys, there are goalies that are going to get more starts than Copley or Korpisalo this week. It may be worth grabbing one of those. Honestly, guys, you can probably pick them up the day of and play them against Anaheim, because Copley will get Anaheim probably on Thursday, and Korpisalo will probably get the Monday game against Vancouver. So definitely, Korpisalo, you can definitely hold for that Monday game against Vancouver, then drop him. And Copley, I guess you could hold him for that Thursday game against Anaheim. Definitely a good matchup. But it is kind of a waste holding him for, 3 days with no games. But if that's what you have to do to get the goalie starts that you have to do, just do it. Don't regret it too much. If that's what you need to do, do it. Then Casey DeSmith of the Pittsburgh Penguins, 23% rostered. Not really getting any starts anymore. Don't know why he's still 23% rostered, if I'm being honest. Jari hasn't been doing too bad. Drop DeSmith if you have him. And then finally I have Jake Allen of the Montreal Canadiens. It's Montembeault the starter at this point. He's getting the majority of the starts. And then randomly they're giving Primo starts as well. So Jake Allen may not even get a start this week. So definitely drop him if for some reason you still have him. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. I really do appreciate you guys watching my content all year long. It really means the world to me. I want to wish you guys the best of luck in your matchups this week. Make some good pickups, make some good drops, and take home that fantasy trophy. Good luck, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tech.